Welcome to the second declension. Part 1. We already know that declensions are families of nouns which belong together. Rather than learn up all the different forms of nouns, it's far more practical and time efficient to just learn the 5 basic tables of nouns and then apply these rules to every noun we encounter. We do the same for the 4 families of verbs, which we call conjugations. In Latin, there are 5 declensions or families of nouns. Each declension can be recognised by its unique genitive singular ending. For a first declension noun, the genitive singular ends in AE. For a second, the genitive singular ends in I. For a third declension noun, the genitive ends in IS. For a fourth, the genitive singular ends in US. And for a fifth declension noun, the genitive singular ends in EI. We can always identify which declension a noun belongs to by looking at the genitive singular. The genitive singular also gives us the stem of a noun. Simply chop off the genitive singular ending and you're left with the stem. For first declension nouns, chop off the AE of the genitive singular and we get the stem. For example, if we take the noun wheeler, wheeli, feminine house, when we chop the AE off that second principal part, we're left with will, VILL, which is the stem. Similarly, for second declension nouns, chop off the I of the genitive singular and we get the stem. For example, if we take the noun servus, servi, masculine, slave, if we chop the I off that second principal part, the genitive singular, we're left with serve, SERV, which is the stem. It's important to find the stem correctly because that's the part that we add all the case endings to. For a first declension noun, once we have the stem, we add the case endings are, am, I, a for the singular, and I, as, arum, is for the plural. Second declension nouns work the same way, but the case endings are slightly different. Rather than the A vowel of the first declension, the second declension has O and U vowels, but many of the case endings look very similar. For a second declension noun, once we have the stem, we add the case endings us, I, o for the singular, and I, os, aurum, is for the plural. That gives us the table servus, servum, servi, servo, servo, servi, servos, servorum, servis, servis. Just as the declension is set out in the same way, with the cases in the same order, the meanings are the same as well. Servus, the nominative singular, means the slave, subject. Servum, the accusative singular, means the slave, object, and is also found after prepositions. The genitive singular, servi, means of the slave and shows possession. The dative case, servo, means to or for the slave and is used to indicate the indirect object. The ablative case, servo, is found after prepositions, or with the 6 meanings by, with, from, in, at, or on the slave. In the plural, servi means the slave's subject. Servos means the slave's object and is found after prepositions. The genitive, servorum, means of the slaves and shows possession. The dative, servis, means to or for the slaves and shows the indirect object. And the ablative, servis, is used after prepositions or means by, with, from, in, at, or on the slaves. Notice that the genitive singular and the nominative plural forms, sur we and sur we, are the same, just as they were for the first declension, we lie in the genitive singular and we lie in the nominative plural. The dative and ablative plural is forms are exactly the same as for the first declension. In the accusative plural, rather than ending in as, it ends in os. And rather than arum in the genitive plural, we have aurum. Similarly, in the ablative singular, rather than we la with that long a, we find sur wo with a long o. So the a vowel is changing to an o vowel. In the accusative singular, rather than am, we find um. But all accusative singular words in Latin end in m, and all accusative plural words end in s. One thing which is different about the second declension is the vocative case. The vocative case is used to call or address someone and is usually found with imperatives, that is, commands, or with questions. For example, pirates, don't kill me. The vocative there is the pirates. Another example, Anna, why are you walking alone in the forest? Where the vocative, the person being addressed there, is Anna. For first declension nouns, the vocative case looks exactly like the nominative case. But second declension nouns have the unique vocative singular case ending of e. So to say, O slave, the singular vocative would be serwe with an e on the end. The vocative plural looks exactly like the nominative plural form. Serwe means O slaves. Lots of names in Latin are second declension masculine nouns. To say, O Marcus, the singular vocative would be Marce, M-A-R-C-E. All second declension nouns ending in us form their vocative singular in this way. Here's a second declension noun, gladius, gladii, masculine, sword, which has a vowel before the genitive singular ending, that is, the stem ends in a vowel. To find the stem, do the same thing as usual. Go to the genitive singular, gladii, and chop off the genitive singular ending, that is I. So what you're left with is your stem gladi, G-L-A-D-I, and that stem needs to be used for all the cases. The nominative will be gladius, the accusative gladium, the genitive gladii, dative gladio, ablative gladio. In the plural, the nominative is gladii, the accusative gladios, the genitive gladiorum, and dative is gladiis with two i's, likewise the ablative gladiis with two i's. The meanings are the same. The nominative singular, the sword, subject, accusative, the sword, object, genitive case, of the sword, showing possession, dative case, to or for the sword, used for the indirect object, ablative case, by, with, from, in, at, on the sword, or found with prepositions. In the nominative plural, gladii means the sword's subject. The accusative plural, gladios, is the sword's object. Gladiorum is of the swords, showing possession. Gladiis, the dative, to or for the swords, showing the indirect object. And the ablative plural, gladiis, by, with, from, in, at, on the swords, also used with prepositions. Many words in Latin are second declension. Here are some of the most common. Amicus, amici, a friend. Barbaros, barbari, a barbarian. Kibos, kibi, food. Deus, dei, God. Equus, equi, a horse. Filios, filii, son. locus, loci, place, oculos, oculi, an eye, sonos, soni, a sound, and ventus, venti, the wind. Now learn the forms of the second declension by heart. So was, so wum, so why, so wo, so wo, so why, so was, so worum, so wes, so wes. Hopefully you'll be able to do it pretty quickly soon. So was, so wum, so why, so wo, so why, so was, so worum, so wes, so wes. And don't forget that vocative singular form, so way, with an E on the end. Vocative plural, so why, with an I on the end. Good luck.